Good morning, everyone. Hello, 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 and welcome to What's New Wednesday at Kimberbell on this Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing very, very well. It looks like we've got so many people already on and joining us. I love that. You're already saying hello, so hello right back to you. Good morning, Lisa from warm and sunny Colorado. She says, oh, that sounds wonderful, doesn't it? And let's see. Hello, Lori from Forest, Virginia. Good morning, Mindy from Arizona and Michelle from Ontario, Canada. Hi, Sue from Eagle River, Wisconsin, and Teresa from sunny San Diego. She says it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Teresa. Oh, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us today, this morning on your special day. Let's see. Hi, my friend Patricia from the Adirondacks. And let's see, you're coming in fast now. Wendy from Southern Maryland, Judy from South Dakota, and the list goes on. Okay, whew. We got lots to cover today. So, we might as well just go ahead and get started. We've got all things to talk about. In fact, one of the really exciting things, of course, is that that next week, Star Spangled Celebration quilt comes out officially out there in the world. And that means this week we get to talk about the background quilting that's on sale for that one. It is gorgeous. It's one you're not going to want to miss. So we'll be talking about that. Of course, a few deals of the week that you can't pass up. And I'm also going to share a little tutorial for you today on how to turn any Kimberbell design into a different size. You guys have asked about that in the past, and I thought, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get started with that idea because again, next week, a new ladder quilt is coming out, and you might look at that Star Spangled Beauty ladder quilt and think, well, I love it and I love the blocks, but maybe I want to make it into 2 pillows instead, or maybe I want to make it a square instead of a ladder. I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. So let's go ahead and get started with a little bit of Sew and Tell with Kimberbell. Okay, 'tis the season for hopping, hopping down the bunny trail, that is. Let's see what you guys have been making with that. Now, as you know, this is a perfect segue too into the tutorial today because I'm going to show you how it once first started out as a pillow and then how some of you have turned it into something that's, fits better for your home. So let's first take a look at it as a pillow from Sue because hers is gorgeous. Love the fabrics you chose there, Sue. She says, finished my hopping. Now I need to start boxing. Can't wait to see it tomorrow. Yeah, she had posted this a couple of days ago because yesterday we did the reveal of the Bella box. That's what she meant with boxing. And we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But anyway, let's take a closer look at Sue's bench pillow there. Oh, didn't it turn out cute? The vibrant colors you used in that border, Sue, just perfect. Loved it. Okay, now, so that started out as a bench pillow, but let's see what a few of your other Bellas or Fellas made with those similar blocks, same blocks. And this is from Tracy, and she says this is her version of the bunny trail. And Tracy, I love it because for you, you're thinking, maybe not a bench pillow, but certainly a wall hanging. And Tracy, that just could not be any cuter. Love it. Absolutely love it. Love that little stand you have for it too. Very nice. This one comes from Sally. She finished hers and she also made it into a wall hanging. But let's look at the difference between Sally's and Tracy's again. Both wall hangings, but of course, Tracy's got the 2 rows going on, whereas Sally's got 3 rows going on, and they both look so good. Sally, I love your little bunny button in each of those pinwheels too. That is super cute. But look at that. Isn't that lovely? And it's almost, it kind of gives it kind of a 9 patch feel. And you may also notice, let's look at that picture again. But she not only used designs from Hoppin' Down the Bunny Trail, but she pulled in a few other designs from other Kimberbell projects, which I love, and that's what we're going to be talking about how to do in today's tutorial. So pretty awesome. Here's another one that was made into a wall hanging from Carol. She says this is her version. She decided to hang it on her kitchen door, and she's pleased with the results and added a few more embellishments. Okay, love it, Carol. Beautiful in every way. Love that little thin inner border you put in there. Let's look at that again, that yellow pop. Ooh, love it. So way to go, my friends. If you are looking for Hopping Down the Bunny Trail, it's not too late to get it because it's perfect for Easter, but it's all perfect throughout the spring season as well. Here's what you're looking for. This is a look at what it looks like on the cover. Here's a few up close images. Okay, so you can see all the darling details. You can find it wherever Kimberbell products are sold. That's online, in person, in stores, all the places. And we'll give you a link as well. So there you go. And of course, if you're going to have Hopping Down the Bunny Trail, you might as well get the embellishment kit too, because there are some really darling embellishments, including some specialty buttons that were created for this pillow, as well as you see that little printed mini quilt there. This is You're a Good Egg. Yep, that's in the embellishment kit too. So check them both out at kimberbell.com or wherever Kimberbell products are sold. All right, now you guys have also been busy with the new month of the mystery quilt. So I'm just going to show you a couple more images here to show you that you can still get caught up. Or if you haven't started it at all yet, it's still not too late to find a shop that does this. So this is from Debbie, and she loves how it's now taking shape. Debbie, I can't wait till you see the final version. But as you can see there, she put her April blocks together, which are the B blocks. And she's also showcasing that it's starting to come together. Maybe not so much in that way, Debbie, because it's still a mystery, right? But you can see that all of her blocks to this point are done, and aren't they adorable? And honestly, no matter which way you end up using them, it's going to be the cutest darn quilt you ever did see, for sure. Okay, so, and one more here. This comes from Leslie, and she says, I'm all caught up. Yes, you are, Leslie, and this just makes my heart so happy to see. So, is that like piquing any of your interests who are still on the fence about whether you want to do a mystery quilt or not? You can't go wrong, you guys, this year. It is so, so darn cute. And I hope you'll be a part of it. So we have a link in our notes here in the comments section too on how you can find a shop participating in that, whether they are doing it in person through their doors, physical doors, or their virtual doors, because they can do it online as well. All right, so join us for all that. How many of you are caught up on the mystery quilt? Let me know in the comments. You're like, oh no, not I. Or you might be like, oh yes, I'm here to shout it from the rooftops that I am all caught up. No UFOs, my friends. No UFOs on this one. All right. Okay, yes. Lisa says, I'm so excited because I got caught up last weekend. Woo! Yeah, Lisa, I'm so glad you did, because there's a lot more coming your way, and we don't want any of those UFOs, right? So there you go. Betty, she says, I haven't started. Betty, this is your sign. This is your cheer squad saying, get going, girl, get going, because you will get caught up pretty darn quick for sure. All right, everyone. Let's see. What do we have for deal of the week? Well, Cassie talked about it on this last Don't Miss Monday. Don't forget to never miss a Monday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, because Cassie always shows you the new deals of the week. And this week, unbelievable deals. This actually comes from Hoop Studio. And if you've never tried Hoop Studio before, that is the box subscription that's delivered to your door, and you get everything you need to complete these darling projects. Well, we have a few more of these boxes left from some of those months, and so we thought let's give you a really good screaming deal. I think it's like half off right now for this week only, so get in on it. The first one I want to show you, let's pull it up. This is the Amelia, I think it's called the Amelia Botanical Banner. Now, with that, isn't that a beautiful design? With that, you're going to get everything you need in the mail, your dowel, your tassels, your canvas to put this on, all the fabrics and materials, the beads, everything you need to make this darling banner. And it would normally be, I think, around $40. But with the kits that we have left, we want a bunch of you to try it. We're putting it on sale this week for $19.99, I believe. So look how cute this ends up being. See, you get all the beads, all the things, my friends. And then you get this gorgeous material. It's got a pinstripe to it. You see that? And then you get the design files to make this lovely bird setting. And one of my favorite fabric companies, Rifle Paper. Yeah, from Cotton and Steel. They put this as the fabric from that. So gorgeous, right? In every way. Now, if you're thinking, well, I only have a 5x7 hoop, or do you have ones that are larger? We got you, because take a look at this. Oh, even the cute little tassels come with it. Oh yes, look at that, how darling. Okay, so if you have a 5x7 hoop, do you see kind of the difference between these two? You can do this in two different hoopings. It still gives the same look as kind of the full bird theme going on here, and isn't that beautiful? But if you have an 8x12 hoop and want to get it done all in one hooping, this is what yours would look like. Again, still same size here. Let's pull off that little thread there. But you can do it all in one hooping, which is really nice too. Look at all the details on that. Isn't that gorgeous? So give yourself a little gift today, right? And pick yourself up one of these darling banners. Perfect for spring, right? So that's one of them. And the second one that we have a few more left of, let me pull it up, is called, I think it's called Autumn. Yeah, Autumn's Hoop Decor. Here we go. This is what it looks like. You're making 3 of these designs. Perfect, of course, for hanging on a wall, but also putting up on a shelf. This is what you would be getting in the mail. You've got the full color printed instructions, of course, and then you've got these 3 amazing octagon shaped faux wood hoops. And then, of course, all the materials to make this. Let's look at it in person. Here's what it looks like. I just think that is stunning. Got a little thread there. Okay, there we go. Love it. Love the fabric on that base there. Okay, the little dimensional details with the felt just makes it pop. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. And isn't that fun in this octagon shaped hoop? So you're getting all of that, plus you're getting these 2 little guys right here. Love it, love it, love it. You know, mushrooms are the thing this year. We've talked about it before, but holy cow, you go into any home decorating store, you're going to find mushrooms. And, you know, therefore, we're here for it. We're going to join right in with all that. So super cute mushrooms, snails, you can't go wrong. So darling for decorating. If you look at any pictures that we have online of this, you'll see that it does, like I said, look great on a wall, but also like on a little shelf, on an easel even, to decorate. That's fun. Now, I said these are autumn hoop decor, but I would absolutely put these out for spring too. I think those are so cute. And then, of course, if you wanted to, now you've got the files, you could change this up into maybe more spring-like colors too. Maybe some reds, some pinks, some soft yellows and such. So that is also normally, I think, around 40. This week's deal of the week, it's around $19.99, I believe. Now, the third deal of the week, if you love those frames and you're thinking, I could see using those frames for other things besides this, you can buy a package of these for super cheap too. I think it's under 10 bucks. And you get all 3 frames and they're this octagon shape, which is kind of fun. And again, this is like a faux wood hoop. So anyway, just gives it a nice little pizzazz to any of your either machine embroidery projects or your hand projects, or you know what, even your punch needle projects, those would be perfect for. So check all those out. They are under the deal of the week tab. All right. Okay, so what else do we have? Rita says, oh no, I think I need to have the autumn hoop decor box. Yeah, or the little packet, right? You do read it. You do. You and Cindy need it, right? So you can do it together. Yeah, really, really fun stuff to be done on our embroidery machine. And now is a great time to get it at such a great deal. All right. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Star Spangled Beauty. This project has my heart, you guys. This is, Cindy says, yes, ma'am, you betcha. This project, you guys, is so beautiful. Look at this. This is coming out officially next week through Kimberbell.com and through Quilt Shops, and it is amazing. Let me tell you, I'm waiting till next week to show you the real thing in person. But can I just show you one of my favorite blocks from it? Because I cannot wait to show you this. Here, hold on. Look at this. How stinking cute are those cherries? Are you kidding me? Look at that foam underneath, and then it has this shiny vinyl over the top. Oh, I want to make like a ton of things just with those cherries. Am I right? Like who wants to make something just with those cherries? I'm telling you, the whole quilt is stunningly amazing. But those cherries, there's something about it. So that's coming out next week. That's a little sneak peek for you on that. But the good news is we're going to, help your budget out a little bit here and give you the background quilting files today at 20% off. Now, you can get those for the next month, I believe. I think it's through May 9th is the background quilting bundle is on sale, 20% off. But look at this background quilting. Now, if you could see the brand new fabric line for Star Spangled Beauty, because there's a new fabric line as well that coordinates with it, of course, you would know that all those motifs that you're seeing in there, especially those floral motifs, they are found in the exact fabric line. That's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons I love our quilting designs, is because our digitizers take all the elements from both the quilt and the fabric collection, and they put it together in these beautiful, stunning background quilting files, right? So save 20% now. I think it makes it around $30-something to get all of those designs in one bundle. So we're going to put a link here to get that bundle. It will automatically go into your Kimberbell library, and you can start stitching with it today. Yes, even before your quilt projects are ready to be done, you can just get started with background quilting on any project, right? So let me show you a little more up close detail on those designs and what they might look like on your quilt as well. And maybe, I got to add in, there's a few little extra things to think about when deciding whether you want to purchase the bundle versus purchase the single designs. You have options for both, but there's a bonus for purchasing the bundle besides saving 20%. Here's the bundle once again. You can see it's got all kinds. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 designs in it. The 6th design is a bonus. So let me show you a few of these. Okay, this is an all over star quilting. I love like the little kind of sashes, I would say, between the stars. It's like ribbons, flurries. I think it's really, really beautiful. And what a way to celebrate, right? So that's part of the bundle. You've got this gorgeous floral all over quilting. Simply stunning, right? Simply stunning. And you guys, again, gosh, I should have brought my little scraps of fabric for this. That's okay. You'll see it next week. Well, actually, I do have another block here to show you. So I will show you the fabric on this one. So this is another block, but do you see this is the fabric right there? Do you notice how that's the fabric and that's the background quilting? Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. I'm loving it. Okay, so that's one of them that's in the bundle. Another one is just this whole slew of stars. Ooh, it's a beauty right here. Kind of takes on just even the star shape, a star within a star within a star there. It also kind of has a secondary shape that you can kind of see in there that to me looks like little hearts. Do you see it like I saw it? There you go. Little hearts, stars. No matter what the shape is, it's all the little tiny stars going on, and it looks beautiful in this quilt. I can't wait for you to see it up close. And then, oh, this is cool. This is new for us too. They put together a plaid quilting design, but it's not just any plaid. Oh no, look at this. It is a 2-color plaid design. So you have options, my friends. If you want to do that background quilting in just one color, absolutely. When there's the color stop that happens, you just keep your thread in, right? The same color. But if you want like a 2-tone plaid background quilting going on, look what you're seeing in here. You're seeing the darker lines and you're seeing the white lines. Those are 2 different color stops to make it really look like plaid. Isn't that cool? I thought that was really clever of our team. So way to go, guys, on that one. That's part of the bundle. And then finally, well, not finally, I'll show you the bonus here in just a minute. But one thing to note on this background border, okay? Let me preface this real quick. You know that our borders usually go from a 1-inch size to a 6-inch size. So you have 6 different sizes, right? Well, you're going to have the same amount of files here, but pay close attention to what this says here. On this side, you've got the words. You've got it says America, land that I love, all those fun little phrases, right? And those are in a 1, 1.5, and 2-inch size. Did you hear that? 1.5. We don't normally do halves here, but I'll show you why we did it in this quilt. So just know this word border comes in 1, 1.5, and 2-inch sizes. But then the floral border over here also comes in 1, 1.5, and 2-inch sizes. Okay, so you're not getting the larger sizes on this one, but you're getting the same amount of files, 1, 1.5, 2. So why did we do that? Well, there's a special block in particular on here that you're going to love using this on, and that is the flag block. And you may notice between the stripes here, there's the words in one of the stripes, like this one says America, and I think it'll continue with land that I love here. But you can see in the other stripes that are here are the florals, and you need that little extra size in there. So let me show you once again what those borders end up looking like. Over here, you've got the words 1, 1.5, 2. Over here, you got the florals 1, 1.5, 2. It's not only going to work perfectly for your ladder quilt border all around, but also in this special flag block that is in the set. So kind of fun, right? Now, the other thing to note is that when you purchase the bundle, you're going to get one extra little bonus size for something that, again, we don't normally do these odd 3.5, in this case, 3.5-inch size. That is for this little guy. Let me pull it up here. Look here at the bottom. This is your bonus for getting the bundle, and that is a 3.5-inch block, little tiny stars. The reason for that, again, let's go to this quilt block. Remember this right here? Well, over here, you see the star on the flag, or the star block on the flag. Let me show you another image here. That little bonus is to fill in that area with background quilting, in addition to the little star buttons that are in your embellishment kit. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So there's a few little extra things about that, buying that bonus bundle. Of course, it's the extra little star block, right? But a few different things just in general with these designs is that you do have the option of doing a two-tone, two-colorway plaid block. And of course, the borders are a little bit different than normal. So all that being said, let me show you what it looks like on the quilt itself, some up close pictures. Here you've got one of the quilt blocks, and there you can see like the ribbons and the stars going across that. Here is another one with the ribbons and stars, America the Beautiful. And there, oh yeah, you can see the quilting really nicely right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Here's that flag block again. So this is why the borders are a little bit different in size for that one. How about that plaid? How about that plaid? Look at the two different colors on that. You've got more of like the red and the blue in that plaid block. Do you see how that makes it really fun to have the option of doing that? Pretty cool. I adore the house that's on this. I can't wait for you to see the full house in all its glory. Literally, right? It has the cute little stars coming out of the chimney. Are you kidding me? But then look at that background quilting with all the tiny little stars. So remember this one over here? Yep, that's one of the places that you're seeing it in the quilt right there. Okay. And then this one, let's see, this Let Freedom Ring. This one has all those fun florals and stars in it. And let's do another one. Yep, here's the little flag block with the tiny little bonus stars. All right. So who is excited? Who is excited to start on Star Spangled Beauty? Oh my gosh, so excited. All right. Debbie is asking for the link to the mystery wallflower quilt. Yay, Debbie. That means you're going to start on it. I love that. Lenny, oh, I totally agree. She says designs would be so pretty with red, white, and blue variegated thread. Yes, please. I love that. Great idea. Great idea. Denise, my friend, she says, I'm excited. Can't wait to get it. Yeah, it's a beauty for sure. And it's going to look stunning in your home. Really, not just 4th of July, not just, summer, but if you love to decorate in like that Americana feel, this is something that you're absolutely going to love having in your home all year long. All right. Okay. Hi, Sandy, my friend. She says, love all of the designs, usable on so many things. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everyone. So that is this week. Save while you can in the next, between now and May 9th, I believe it is the date, save 20%. Okay. Now let's talk about a little tutorial. As we've talked about in the past, I often say, and you guys probably are like, yeah, we know, Kim, it can be made into other things. But sometimes we get kind of stuck and we go, well, how's the best way to make that ladder quilt maybe into 2 pillows? Or what's the best way of making the pillows into a 40 by 40 wall hanging? Or what's the best way of taking the square pillows and turning them into a bench pillow? You see what I'm saying? And I know you guys have asked this question many, many times. So I'm excited to share with you just like the simplest of tutorials to make this really easy on you. These are things that I'm just like doing in Illustrator on the computer. But I'm going to show you how to do it on paper, right? If you don't have programs like that. So, and I'm going to show it in the easiest of ways. So in the past, again, if you looked at, say, pumpkins and potions, you may have passed it by because you said, well, it's a ladder quilt, and I don't have a place for a ladder quilt, like you see on the cover. I want your mind to start thinking beyond the project that is seen on the cover, all right? Because you could still take that ladder quilt and make something else. Let's take a look at another example from the past. Here is Cup of Cheer. Oh my word, how we love Cup of Cheer, right? But it is a big quilt, right? And you might be thinking, one, I don't have the time to make a big quilt like that, but I love the blocks. Or you might be thinking, I don't have wall space to place a quilt like that, but I love the blocks and I want to put it on my bench, or I want to put it in a frame or whatever. Here's another example. You may have looked at this one in the past, A Quilty Little Christmas, and said, oh, those are so cute as little mini quilts. But again, I don't have the wall space. I don't want to make a mini quilt. I want to make a big quilt. You know what I'm saying, right? How about this one? This is a digital download at Kimberbell. It says, life is better in full bloom, and it's perfect for spring and summer. And you might love the blocks, but you're thinking that would make a really cute ladder quilt. And what's really been fun is to see that already so many of you guys are mixing and matching. But for those of us who are going, but how? Like, what is the best way of doing this, right? Maybe even what is the best way without having to stitch everything first and then deciding. And you don't maybe have a software program to manipulate things and change things around. Well, I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it today. Are you ready for it? Are you thinking, okay, yeah, this is my kind of tutorial. I want to see what the possibilities are. Well, you've come to the right place today then. All right, so the easiest, most straightforward way for this is to take a design that we already have at Kimberbell and to use that as your template, okay? As your template. Let me tell you why this works. Here's an example. This is the mini quilts. It comes from Mini Quilts Volume 2, and this is the August design, all right? So cute as a mini quilt, right? But I want you to think of this, instead of looking at it as, well, this is the quilt that only can be used for these blocks and can only be used for a summer theme. You might look at that template as, gosh, I like the layout of those blocks, and I think I could put some Halloween designs in there instead. You're with me? Okay. Or maybe you look at this bench pillow here, or not bench pillow, but our 18 by 18 inch pillow. And again, this is Halloween, and you're not thinking of it as a Halloween project so much as you're looking at a project as a template. The reason why this idea works so well with Kimberbell projects is because all of our projects, like 95% of the blocks, all use our orange pop rulers, which I know you're familiar with, right? Our orange pop rulers, but that means they all come in the same interchangeable sizes. You've seen our blocks. They come in like, you cut it into a 4.5 by 4.5 inch square. You cut it into a 6.5 by 8.5 inch block. You cut it into a 8.5 by 10.5 inch block. They are even numbers, right? Those even numbers are going to make you sing because it makes it really interchangeable to do any kind of design with Kimberbell blocks. Let me show you how easy this is. Okay, so I'm going to take this for an example. Let me grab my pen. Teacher mode, Kim, is coming out, right? And I look at this and I think of it as literally just a template. So that means, okay, whoops. This is a block here, right? These are 2 blocks here. We've got a block here, one here, and one here. And I know when that's all said and done, this is going to end up being a 12 by 12 inch block, right? Template in this case. Now, if I'm wondering, okay, what size are those blocks? Well, it's really easy to figure that out because I can go into the instructions here and you're going to just look at what the finished the cut size is. So for example, if I go into the little bag block right here, I'm going to look at the very end of those directions where it has the orange pop rulers. See that? And I'm going to say, it tells me to put my, in this case, my 4x4 orange pop ruler over the top. Now, if you don't have orange pop rulers, you can still do this, of course. It's just orange pop rulers makes it super, super easy. But that is what I'm going to cut my block to. And you put your orange pop ruler, your OPR, over that, and you can center it. And now you know that that block is going to be trimmed down to 4.5 by 4.5 inches. Okay, let's go back to our front page, our template. That means this block right here, 4.5 by 4.5 inch block. Okay, I'm just showing you a visual way of doing this, right, on paper. But here's what it's going to start looking like. If I were to look at this block right here, I would know, I know it because I put together the template for you last night, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But this is a 6.5 by 8.5 inch block. The reason I knew that is I could go in the directions like any of us, and you could go to the end where it says what to cut it at. You got 6.5 by 8.5. Okay, this one I believe was a 4.5 by 6.5. And then these are 2.5 inch blocks by 2.5 inch blocks, both of them. Okay, this one and this one. All right, Lisa says, what is this project called? I missed it. The Flamingo. This is in Mini Quilts Volume 2, July through December. And this is the August mini quilt. It's pretty darn cute, isn't it? So if I look at this just as a template, this is what my template looks like. So this is what I pulled together for you. And you're welcome to take a little picture of it too, if you want to use that template in one of your projects. Let me pull this together. Take a screenshot of this, okay? That's what this template ends up looking like, okay? Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. There we go. Okay, so that's the template I just made. Now that I have that template, I can look at any Kimberbell project that uses those same sizes and know that it's going to fit perfectly into this look and feel of how this layout is, right? Well, if I want to make a 12 by 12 quilt and I'm just doing it just like this, then that's all I've got to do. But if I'm going, you know what, I want to make that larger. Well, I could do one of a few things. I could take this template and just repeat it over and over and over again, and maybe even swap around some of those. Maybe instead of this block section being up here, I could swap it with this block section down here, vice versa, right? I could do that. It's almost like playing with a puzzle, which makes it really fun. And again, the reason why this method works so well with Kimberbell projects is because, as I mentioned, about 95% of our designs are going to fit perfectly in those block sizes. okay, which also happen to be the sizes of our background quilting files as well. It all works together, right? So, with that in mind, you could even think, okay, let me see if I pulled it. Let me just pull up the picture here real quick. Oh, here's another one. Okay, this came, oh, by the way, Lisa, you were asking about where this design came from. This came from Mini Quilts Volume 2. So this was the August design. This is what I just showed you. And you could, like I said, keep it just as is. But if you said, you know what, I want to add another 12 by 12 big block that's divided up into smaller sections. And I could do that really easily by using the September template that's still there. This is the September one. And you're going to notice up here, let's see, over here, I believe that's a 6.5 by 6.5 inch block. And then, you know, those middle blocks down between the mushroom and the house, those are 2.5 inch sizes, and the mushroom is a 4.5 inch size. Do you see where this can go? And I could then go, gosh, well, if my first 12-inch block was, you know, oh boy, I'm trying to remember just off the top of my head here. Okay, if that was my first 12-inch block, now I'm just going to take another 12-inch block setting template, maybe the one that was in September, and maybe that one looks like, you know, this. But they're all interchangeable. Again, that means you can take any quilt block from Kimberbell projects and just swap them out for other blocks. Pretty cool, right? Now, here's what I did. Here's another example of how I pull what you can do if you're loving this particular quilt or pillow. Do you guys remember I did this maybe 2 years ago on What's New Wednesday? Do you notice where some of these designs have come from over the years at Kimberbell? If you are a Kimberbell fan through and through, you might recognize that these blocks were not part of this original pillow. But because I could just go, you know what, I'm going to use this, I'm going to create a template in my mind, right? This can become your template. And do you guys remember this pie and this pie and this pie? It all comes from Sweet as Pie. That used to be is still a more autumn Thanksgiving look to the pies. In fact, this one was a pumpkin pie. But just by changing out the fabric on there and adding, my little dollop of whipped cream on there, like it was on the pumpkin pie, but then I added a little dimensional strawberry from our wool felt berries collection. Now it's a strawberry pie, and I call this country fare. Kind of fun, huh? Even the lemon pie, I think it was still lemon on the original pie pillow, but now I just added a little dimensional felt there to really scream lemon. And then we've got the blueberry pie. And now all of a sudden, it doesn't look like a Thanksgiving theme. It's the country fair theme, right? And if you want this recipe, so to speak, it's free at Kimberbell. Now, the designs aren't free. Those are from a whole collection of other Kimberbell projects, but my guess is you probably have a lot of those designs. And if you're wondering what that template looks like, you can print it out right there. That template right there, you can go, gosh, I really like this. Maybe I even want to do it just like this, and that's great. But maybe I want to use that template for other, maybe a Christmas pillow instead. You've got the template right there for you. And then you've got this is literally written out for you what I used for, say, like, let's look at the strawberry pie, for example. It'll tell you what block size that is. It's a 6.5 by 6.5. It'll tell you what quilting I used. I used plaid 1, and it will tell you where the design came from. And in this case, it is from the Sweetest Pie bench pillow. Pretty cool, right? So you can just download that for free at Kimberbell. We'll put a link in the notes. But this is how simple it is to take any Kimberbell project, love the template, but just swap out your own blocks for it, right? And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to make it even more simple for you to swap out blocks, using orange pop rulers is your ticket. Let me pull up another example here where we used orange pop rulers to square this up. Oh yeah, see? So in this case, remember this little block here was 6.5 by 8.5 inches. That's what this ended up being. You see here, trimming instructions. You're going to place your orange pop ruler around that block and then visually center it in the orange pop ruler and then cut it to 6.5 by 8.5. If you do that with any design and cut it at that 6.5 by 8.5, it's going to work perfectly with this particular template. So next week, when this comes out, the Star Spangled Beauty, I want you to think first before you pass it up and say, well, I'm not into ladder quilts. I'd really like that as a 40 by 40 quilt, or I'd really love that as, another size, a pillow quilt. Think of it again as just the designs itself and interchange those blocks. Now, let me give you another little tip that you're just going to go, oh, that was easy. Why didn't I think of that? Well, here you go. If you are a very visual person, well, okay, let me back up. Sometimes you might think, I'm going to stitch out all the blocks first, and then I'll figure out how to arrange them. Well, that's great. That is great. And kudos to you for wanting to do that. But you might end up with blocks that you don't end up using, right? So here's another little tip, another idea that you can do. Let me see. Oh, I wanted to bring up one of my larger quilt pattern books here. And I don't think I have it right here. Anyway, pretend this was a big quilt, right? What you can do is you could, if it's a printable, then you can just print this and cut it out. But if it's in a book, you don't want to cut up your book. So you would want to take like a photocopy of it. But these are little extracts, right? Remember how at the end of any of our projects, you can it'll show you step by step how to put these blocks together. Here's the good news, you guys. These are all at scale, so with each other. So what you could do is cut those apart and almost think of it as a puzzle piece, right? It's kind of fun, kind of shift it around. So I actually did that with this, okay? I cut this apart. I took, let me see. There we go. Those are the extracts towards the end of the project, right? And I just cut them apart like a puzzle piece. Let me pull them up. Look at this. They're so cute. All right. I mean, I got my little square and a square block. Again, if you have computer software, that's sometimes just as easy or easier, but this is also really easy, right? You got your little witch block, and now you can have fun going, ooh, I could put that here. Oh, I think I'm going to shift this over here. You see what I'm saying? It makes it really simple. And then this way you could also go, you know what? These are my favorite quilt blocks in the project. These are the only ones I'm going to stitch out, and now I can make it totally different. Love that, right? By visually seeing it before I actually piece this thing together. All right, so that's another idea for you on how to change this up into a whole nother project. Maybe you want this pillow as a ladder quilt. Well, print out the ones that you like. Maybe then go to another Kimberbell Halloween quilt, print out those ones you like. Maybe go to another Halloween project of Kimberbell's, print those out, and now have fun playing with it as a puzzle piece. Okay, so there's another idea for you. Now, finally, one more little idea for you. is this is more, again, maybe old school, but I don't always have my computer with me, and I might have like an idea come to me and I go, oh, I just want to jot that down real fast, right? Well, we sold these years ago. I think maybe there was one even in a Bella box years ago. Anyway, it's these bullet journals. So this is the Kimberbell Experience the Joy of Creativity. I don't even know if we still have these, although someone's going to win some today. But these are, you've seen them before. They're bullet journals, and a bullet journal just has the little tiny dots going across it. It's like a grid, right? Or you could use graph paper for sure. So here's another idea. Now I'm going to darken this up, these bullets, a little bit for you, because I don't know how well you can see that on the screen. So let me just quickly, as we're talking, I'm going to darken this up with my marker. Whoops. Okay. Just so that you can better see it. But is your mind reeling now with ideas? I would love to hear in the comments what you're thinking. Okay. All right. So say, for example, those are my little dots. Okay. I could do a couple of things. Now, this is a kind of a small notebook. And so for a notebook this size, for as many dots that are in there, I could think of each of these little squares, right? If I can start connecting dots, I could think of them as 1-inch squares, right? So 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. And now I've got my 1-inch blocks. And I could probably fit maybe like a pillow, definitely a like a 12 by 12 mini wall hanging would fit on there, using those as just 1-inch squares. Now, if I was doing a really big quilt, I might look at each of those squares, instead of representing 1 inch, I would represent it in my mind as a 2-inch square. Does that make sense? So just think about the scale here, but this is 1-inch block, 1-inch block, 1-inch block. Okay. So for example, I say to myself, I want to make a 12 by 12 inch design. So I could take either graph paper or something like a bullet journal, and I could go, let's see if I can do this for you. I'm going to connect the dots. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to, just play around with some ideas. I'd probably do this in pencil because you might, want to erase as you go. But 1, 2, I want to make it 12 inches, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Then I'm going to make it 12 inches down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then across it'll be 12. And then across down it'll be 12. Okay. You get the idea. So now in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I've got blocks that are either 4.5 by 4.5. I've got blocks that are 6.5 by 8.5. But Kim, those are 1-inch squares. Think about this as finished sizes, like after your fabric has been sewn together. Okay. So if I'm thinking, okay, a 4.5 by 4.5 inch block, I'm going to put in there. But really, I'm only going to mark it as a 4 by 4 size, right? Okay, because this is finished. This is not seams included. So just for my own diagram, I'm going, okay, right here in this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, there we go, 4. Okay, I know that is a 4 by 4 square here, but in reality, my block size is what? 4.5 by 4.5. See? And then maybe I go, oh, you know what? I want to do like a 6.5 by 8.5 inch block, because I've got one of those, right? I've got this right here. I've got my 6.5 by 8.5 inch block. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then down 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, awesome. That takes me right to the bottom, right? And now that's, instead of a 6 by 8, that's what we drew because this is finished size. But we're cutting it, right? So with our orange pop rulers, 6.5, or just cut it, 6.5 by 8.5. See what's going on there? And then maybe I go, well, I want this to line up here, and maybe put two-inch blocks there. So do you see how this can work? So simple. Maybe I start with the size of a ladder quilt and I go, you know what? I know that a ladder quilt, oh gosh, I can't remember what it is. I think it's around 20 by 60 off the top of my head. But I could do that on here. I could draw what I'm the end in mind. I could start with a 20 by 60 inch size, right? I could even add in my borders. I mean, you guys, the possibilities are endless. So if I were to do 20 by 60, I don't know if there's 60 spots on here to make them 1 inch, but I could think of each square as a 2-inch block and get it done for sure. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. You just go over you go over with the size that you want to end up with, right? And then you start filling it in. You start saying, oh, well, I want a 2-inch border on this. Easy. Okay, I'm going to go down 1, 2, and over 1, 2. And now I know, wow, that's lovely, isn't it? This is what happens when you try to draw sideways here. Okay, but you get the idea. If this is a 2-inch border, what are you cutting? You're cutting it at 2.5 because, again, this is finished, but your cut size needs to be that extra 1/2 inch to allow for the seams. Okay, so this is actually 2.5 inch wide that you're cutting. And then whatever this ends up being, if it was, say it was 60 inches, then you're going to make that 60.5. All right. And now you start filling in your blocks, and pretty soon you got all kinds of cool things going on, right? That's how easy it can be, my friends. So either you can make it really simple on yourself and start with a template that you already like from Kimberbell, and you go, I like the layout. Now I'm just going to plug in a different design. Or if you want to have even more flexibility with something like that, you could do graph paper, a bullet journal, something like that. And there you go. That's how easy it is. What do you guys think? Was that helpful? Oh, I sure hope so. And if you end up using any of these ideas, hey, even the cute little, puzzle pieces idea, let me know over on the Kimberbellas and Fellas Facebook group, otherwise known as Machine Embroidery with Kimberbell. Let me know, because I would love to see how you worked things out. Hey, and if you end up, using this too, I would love to see that as well. Anyway, what do you think? So helpful. Oh, good. Sandra says, very helpful. Love a good teaching moment. Awesome. 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 And Tina says she's going to, definitely going to save this live for reference in the future. Well, good. Awesome. Tina, maybe what our really clever team can do is possibly like pull this clip out and make it its own clip, maybe on YouTube. Would that be helpful? So that you could just go right to this tutorial of sorts. Maybe we could do something like that. So then you don't have to watch all of What's New Wednesday, right? All the time. Okay, so there you have it. Now, before I let you go, there is a giveaway, which also includes, it's a good giveaway. You're not going to want to miss it, but it also includes this. But I also, before I let you go today, I wanted to give you a quick idea on an Easter basket, because Easter is right around the corner, my friends. Crazy, right? And I'm thinking, okay, yes, I could go get a cheap old plastic basket at the store for because I want to put together a little gift for my grown kids that live in different parts of the country and send it to them. And yes, I could go get the plastic stuff, or I could make something super cute from Kimberbell, of course, and have it be the gift that keeps on giving. So how about these rope bowls? This is part of the new holiday rope bowl collection. We talked about it a few weeks ago because it's brand spanking new. But how cute would this be as an Easter basket? Now, this design is part of that, but this whole CD has, or not CD, this is a digital download, my friends. Remember that? This was our first digital download. This is a digital download, and it comes in 2 sizes and for all the holidays. So if you want just a cute little small Easter basket, you could go with the small route. If you want a nice big Easter basket, you could go the large route. Either way, they're just as cute, and they come in both sizes. So a 5x7, and I think an 8x12 is the other one. So this is another Sweet Land of Liberty. I'm just going to show you real quick again what all the holidays are that come on this one collection. This one says love all day, every day, but it's perfect for Valentine's. Yes, but honestly, any day or like an anniversary celebration or something. This one, Have a Lucky Day, is for St. Patrick's Day. We've got a Thanksgiving one here. Happy Thanksgiving. Don't you love this oval shape? Trick or Treat. Oh my gosh, I am loving that one. And then Merry Christmas. Okay, so this is the collection that is just going to keep giving you ideas for gifting all year long, or for decorating your own home, right? But in particular, I'm looking at this Hoppy Easter as being the most darling Easter basket to send to my grown kids, so that they can have it not only filled with all the goodies that I want them to have, but also, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's something they can decorate their home with, not only this year, but next year. Now, if you've got like little grandkids, for example, I'm thinking, okay, who doesn't want to have their name on something, right? So you could absolutely take off Hoppy Easter, keep the little bunnies on, and then put the child's name in there instead. So darn cute. Yeah, Anita says this is a cute one for adults. Absolutely. So, maybe you want to gift it to a friend that, maybe doesn't love candy or something. So you put in some little decorations, like a little, decorative candy dish or bowl. Maybe it's got a little stuffed bunny in it. Maybe it has a little tea towel sticking out of there. And how darling is that? And you know what? You can't go wrong with Peeps. So throw in some Peeps in there, maybe a chocolate bunny or something. And now you have the cutest presentation to gift to somebody in your life, whether it be your grandkids, big kids. I could see doing this for my own mother for an Easter gift, all the things. So again, you've got the Hoppy Easter design. You've got the rope bowl base design. Now you want all the possibilities to start flowing through your mind on what you could do with it. You'll find it wherever Kimberbell products are sold, in stores, online, or at kimberbell.com. All right. So try a rope bowl for Easter baskets this year. You won't be sorry. They are so darn cute and really quite addictive to make. They're really easy and a whole lot of fun to make. So yeah, you guys are loving the rope bowls, aren't you? I love that. All right, if you do anything with those rope bowls, of course, post them on our Facebook page because we want to see them. So what is the giveaway today? Whew, we talked through a lot, didn't we? Time just flies when you're having fun. 2 people are going to win big today. 2 people are going to win this bullet journal because we did have some left. Again, I don't know if we have any left on the website to buy, but I had a few of these left in our stash for giveaways. And there you go. A bullet journal from Kimberbell, so that you can start making your designs. I'm also going to send 2 people a layer cake so that you can start making some fun designs with Kimberbell fabrics. This is from our friends at Maywood. They've given us these to give away to you guys. So you're going to get the bullet journal, a layer cake, and I thought, you know what? If you're going to turn something into something else, why not give you a little hanger to hang it with too? So I'm also going to send you this fun little wire hanger with the heart. And I think it's around like 11 or 12 inches long. So putting together like a little mini quilt, a 12-inch mini quilt or something would be so cute hung from there. So 2 people are going to win that. All right. So if you're a winner, you're going to get 3 things. You're going to get the bullet journal, you're going to get the little hanger, and hello, a layer cake, which is always so fun. All right. So how do you enter? Just leave a comment here on YouTube or Facebook and tell me what is something that was an aha moment to you today. Let me know, or maybe something that piqued your interest, something that you enjoyed from today's show, something. Let me know. And that says, hey, I watched the show. I know what you're talking about, right? And leave that in the comments, and we will choose 2 winners to win this Friday morning. You'll be announced on our Facebook page, and we'll just go from there. All right. So loving the layer cakes, journaling. Yes. The hanger is perfect for me time projects. Yes, absolutely. Just reading your comments here real quick. Debbie says she loves thinking outside the box. I'm so glad, Debbie, because again, I don't want you to look at something and take it for just what it is right now. Oh no, there's too much fun to be had with these designs. Think about it a little bit differently with some of the little tips and techniques I shared today, and you're going to have a world of possibility open up to you. All right. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you love the tutorial. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are very welcome. All right. Well, I think that's all. Oh, good. And you're going to do the rope balls. Yes, for Easter baskets. I think it'd be darling, just darling. Hey, even like, I'm thinking my big kids, they might like want the family name even on it, you know, the Christopherson family or something, and then it goes into their homework, something like that. I don't know. All kinds of ideas. So exciting. All right, everyone. Well, have a wonderful day. Oh, Debbie, I'm so sorry to hear about your surgery. Okay. Hugs, love. Sending out to you, Debbie. Hope you feel better real soon. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Whew. It was a full one. Don't forget to join Cassie on Mondays, 11 or 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And then, of course, Wednesdays, 10 a.m. with me for What's New Wednesday. Have a great day. Keep doing what you love and keep experiencing the joy of creativity. Goodbye, my friends.